If you run any type of e-commerce brand with Google Ads, you probably are familiar with the word test. Testing, more testing. Words that all e-commerce store owners at some point of time have repeated over and over and over again. But exactly what do you even test? And is everything really even appropriate for testing purposes? I've kind of pondered upon this question for the past 2.5 years, mainly because I spent roughly $3 million testing for my own e-commerce brands as well as for my clients' e-commerce brands under my Google Ads agency, Euro Marketing. And in this video, I want to reveal some campaigns and campaign types which you should probably avoid testing during certain phases of your e-commerce brand. And the reason why I even would recommend avoiding anything is because number one, it's really not ideal for your current situation, or number two, your budget that you have currently does not support any testing for that given campaign type. But first and foremost, let's discuss what you definitely should have when testing with Google Ads. First of all, obviously search and shopping campaigns like I have shown here make up bulk of your results. So 80%, I would even say about 70 to 80% of the overall sales come from shopping and search campaigns. So if we look at this e-commerce brand right here on my screen, we currently have multiple different PMAX campaigns going on and 2 different search campaigns going on. But if we look at the overall results they're getting, we can see that in total, the ad account has spent roughly £6,700. And by the way, it has gotten back about £30,000. This number is not fully accurate, but in total, out of £6,700, we can see only about £415 went to another campaign that's not a shopping campaign or a search campaign. So this essentially is kind of the overall view of how 99% of e-commerce brands work. A lot of e-commerce store owners who are unable to get their merchant center approved decide to fully rely on search ads, which is fine, but that misses out on a big opportunity of scaling via shopping ads. But besides shopping and search, there's really only a few other campaigns which you can get to with the similar kinds of results as those we have gotten for a majority of the brands. And that's simply because shopping and search is and always should be the main point. So let's say you have a limited budget to test around with, or maybe you don't even have any types of limitations. What should your number one goal be? Your number one goal should try to find success with shopping ads and then search ad. But these 2 sections are the only ones that can kind of be flipped back and forth. So you can first start with search ads and then go to shopping and vice versa. It doesn't really matter. But both of these campaign types should bring in about 70% to 80% of the sales. This is kind of where you really get into that realm of finding consistent success for your e-commerce brand. But let's say you're getting good results like this e-commerce brand with these campaigns. What do you do next? Well, first of all, when your e-commerce brand is really not getting the desired results and desired success levels, you should definitely be staying away from other campaign types like these display campaigns, discovery campaigns, and even YouTube remarketing campaigns. And also, by the way, performance max campaigns. Now, hold on, you might just be surprised to hear what I said. Well, if we go on over to this plus button right here, click new campaign, the performance max I'm talking about is not the shopping campaign related performance max, but it's essentially this one right here, this performance max option, choosing a brand new campaign type. And the reason why this is not an ideal campaign type is because this does not have the shopping side of things, the products available for you to choose. If you want to make your performance max campaign a shopping campaign along with it, then you need to first click shopping, and then from here at the bottom you need to ensure performance max is chosen. This is the ideal way to create a PMAX campaign. I'm seeing way too many e-commerce brands that I'm auditing under my Google Ads agency Euro Marketing, which if you're currently doing $40,000 or more per month in revenue, you need just a little bit of extra help scaling your e-commerce brand to the next level. Go onto my website at euromarketing.com and book a free call with me to see how we can possibly work together but make that happen. But I'm seeing way too many brands using this option right here. This is not ideal for shopping purposes, so keep that in mind. But performance max this way, also display campaigns, discovery, video, YouTube campaigns, these are a no-go when it comes to getting results initially. But once you are in the scaling phase, you're getting decent revenue, decent conversions every single day from Google, that's when you can start to expand into display campaigns first and foremost. Even in this time period, I recommend that you stay away from discovery campaigns and YouTube retargeting campaigns. That's because you have just started to get good results with shopping ads, and now it's time to expand to other campaign types like search and display campaigns. But you're not at the level where you can really just spend money blindly like discovery campaigns or YouTube retargeting campaigns essentially would. So that's why you want to stick more to the shopping, search, and display campaigns when you're getting decent amounts of results. But now this brings us to the third area where you're scaling your e-commerce brand with Google Ads, you're getting good results, you're profitable, and everything is going smoothly. This is when you start to kind of expand into discovery campaigns, YouTube retargeting campaigns, so on and so forth. I mean, for this brand, that's one mistake we made essentially, because last month this brand did a much better number. It has slowed down a bit just because it started to get bad reviews because the CEO of this e-commerce brand was unable to keep up with the demand we were generating via Google Ads. But last month in January, I'm recording this in February, we did about a 5.51x ROAS, about 100,000 pounds in revenue. But during this time period, we had started to test some discovery campaigns, some YouTube retargeting campaigns. But after a while, we understood that it was a bit too early in terms of the success levels to really introduce those. So at least when you're getting 1 month to 3 months worth of consistency in terms of revenue and profitability, that's when you really want to expand into discovery campaigns and YouTube retargeting campaigns, and so on and so forth. But essentially, until that time period, stay 10 feet away from discovery campaigns and YouTube retargeting. This is one of the hardest campaign types to make profitable with Google Ads. I'm saying this based on my own experience after spending about $3 million just testing with Google Ads. So again, to kind of recap, if you're in the early stages of your Google Ads success journey, I recommend sticking to only shopping and search. Once you start to get some decent results, move on over to display campaigns, and then once you're finally in the scaling phase, and the scaling phase really depends per account and per e-commerce brand. I mean, one e-commerce brand that considers itself scaling might be a break even for another e-commerce brand. So you really need to sit down and understand your own KPIs to understand when is your brand scaling versus when is it just kind of coasting. And then once you're scaling, then kind of look into discovery campaigns, YouTube retargeting, so on and so forth. But these three campaign types, display, discovery, and YouTube retargeting, of course, with the performance max, if you choose the wrong way to do it, are campaign types you should stay 10 feet away from while scaling with Google Ads until you get to certain numbers. But go onto my website at yourmarketing.com if you're doing $40,000 or more per month in revenue and you want to scale to the next level with Google Ads, and watch this video right here, which goes over how I cracked the Google Ads algorithm and understood what really makes it work and scale e-commerce brands.